Right, okay. The idea of this tutorial is to show you how to generate random numbers and also how to use the if statement to check if two numbers added together are correct. So if we go to new project, we want to call this one if and random test. You can name it whatever you want. So when the form loads, the first thing I'm going to do, which you haven't got to do, is just change the font of the entire form so that anything I create from now on will be in that font. It's mainly just so you guys at home can see what I'm doing. Next step is we want to add two buttons. Button 1, we will change the text to get question. This will be the button that we click to get a question in a minute. And button 2 we will name to check answer. And this will be the one that the user clicks once they put in the answer to check if it's correct. Next we want to add a text box, which will be where the user actually types in their answer. And in the design name we want to change this to txt answer. And the final step here is to add 3 labels. Just neaten them off a bit. Label 4 will be, helps if I write it in the right section, doesn't it? In the text, call this one equals. Label 2 we want to change to a plus sign.
Manual capture required.
And in label 1 we want to remove the text and change the design name to LBL int 1. This will be the first of our 2 generated numbers. In the second one change to LBL int 2, and again remove the text. So the 2 labels that we've just renamed that are now invisible will be our 2 generated random numbers. Now if we double click on get question, we want to type in system.random.
Manual capture required.
And then we want that as random num equals new system.random. Open and close brackets and close the statement. We then want to, just above where the button 1 is clicked, is we want to declare 2 temporary storage numbers that we can store our 2 created random numbers. And then the next step is to actually create the 2 random numbers. So rand number dot next, and then open brackets, and this is the biggest number you want to create. And we will do this for each of them. So num1 equals random number dot next, and then the maximum number. So if you only wanted to create a number from 0 to 10, you'd type in 10 there. If we just copy that for ease,
Manual capture required.
and then do the same for num2. And now what we want to do is our 2 integers is actually display a number to the user. So now because the num1 is going to be as an integer at the moment, we need to put toString at the end, so it converts it to a string and then displays it to the user in that label. And LBL int2 dot text will equal num2 dot toString, open and close
Manual
brackets,
capture required.
and then end the statement. So now if we run our program and click get question, can see we're actually getting 2 which are below 80. If we change these to both to 20 and then run, we will actually get 2 numbers which are below 20. So if we go back to our form and double click on check answer, we now want to create an if statement. So if and then open brackets num1 plus num2, put them both in brackets, is equal to txt answer dot, actually before we do that, whatever the user enters into here is going to be a string once the program runs. So what we first want to do is take the text box, txt answer even dot text, and then here we want to create a new key, so we will call it int. Trying to figure out what we can call it. Answer would be a good one, wouldn't it? Equals txt answer dot text. Put that in brackets, and before it we want to put convert dot to int 32, and then end that. So now if we put if, not quite sure why my computer keeps doing that, if num1 plus num2 is equal to answer, our first one so whatever we type in here, if num1 plus num2 equals the answer the user put in, so if they've got the question right, we will display a message box dot show, and that will simply say correct. And then if we need to end that statement, lbl int dot text equals, and
Manual capture required.
a lbl int dot text, that then clear anything the user has put in. If we then put txt answer dot text equals, again blank, basically that then, if they got the question right, it'll clear these three. We can actually put that there, because on no matter whether they got it right or wrong, we want to clear whatever they've put in. If we then copy this message box collect to the bottom one, the else is if they've got it wrong, so we want to put show incorrect, but we also want to put in the correct answer for them. So after the
Manual capture required.
close speech marks, we want to put plus open brackets num1 plus num2 close brackets, and then incorrect. The correct answer was, make sure you got the space, and then that will actually display the correct answer to them. So if we now click play, get a question, now obviously that's 28, so that was correct, and again it's now all cleared. Now if we get questions, 7 plus 0 is 7, if we thought for some reason it was 4, it would then say incorrect, the correct answer was 7. You can actually, if I just run that again, you can actually get this plus to generate a random symbol, but we will go into that on another video. Thanks again guys, and any questions just leave a comment.